ever try to find the value of your sports card only to get lost in a sea of unhelpful Facebook comments? Well, I'm going to show you how I comp my cards in a way that's quick, easy, reliable, and driven by recent real-time sales. So let's take the guesswork out of what these cards are worth and let's take a look at the numbers. For me, the easiest site to go to look at recent real-time data is eBay. eBay is the largest marketplace for sports card sales online with millions of transactions for data and comps. They're also integrated with PSA so you can get real time information and you can get real accurate pop reports, population reports, so you know how many of these cards are really on the marketplace. Finally, eBay is just easy to use. Everybody recognizes the name. They have tons of filters and ways that you can sort and search the data. In this case, I'm taking a look at this 1990 score Bo Jackson that I just got back from PSA. Unfortunately, they gave me a mint 9 instead of the gem mint 10. Three main components for me. Number one, I want to type in as much information as possible. In this case, I'm starting with the year and make of the card. So it's a 1990 score. And as you can see here, you already have these things pre-filling. Just like in Google, eBay has this pre-fill in the search bar. And these are the top cards that people are searching for in the 1990 score set. So right off the bat, I feel good because here's that Bo Jackson that I'm looking for. Okay. So number one is to search with as much information as possible. And when I hit in this search bar, I have this little picture here in the list of search terms. So when I hit that, now you see here's my search term, but also here is the picture of the card. Okay. And with that picture comes all of this information. Last sold for, the information about the card number, the athlete. I can click right here, historical price data, and see, in this case, over the past 3 months, the average sold price, the last it sold for, how many sellers, how many were actually sold. And I scroll through this list here, and it'll tell you, here you go, PSA 9, $61, 18 bids at an auction. Okay, this will give you all this information over the past 3 months. But let's just say, for example, I do 1990 score baseball, Bo Jackson, if I can type. So you'll see here in my list here, there's no picture, right? There's no little picture. So this is the card number right here, though. Let's click on it. Now at the top, again, you don't see that picture. So you don't have all of that information there. You don't have all of that historical data right there. You have to comb through all these sales yourself. Okay. So that's key point number one, is that we have to be searching. When we're searching, we have to be sure that we're getting that picture to pop up, that little thumbnail of the card. When that pops up, that's how you know you're getting the most reliable, the most accurate data that eBay currently has on this card. So now that we got number one out the way, we know we're looking at the right card. So let's take a look at some of these prices. Through the roof. Look at this one here. Authentic. Not even graded. Just saying it's authentic. Look at this one here. 6,700. Not even graded at all. Okay, that's great. But look, on the left-hand side, we have to go down over here to these filters. And if you go down all the way to the bottom where it says show only, okay, you need to check off these two things, completed items and sold items. Once I check off those two, you'll see how they pop up here, these little bubbles. Now I'm only looking at cards that sold. We're talking 12 bucks, 59 bucks, right? Not 17,000. Those other numbers were what people were asking for the card. They can ask whatever they want. That doesn't mean that it's going to sell for that price, right? So in this case, we filtered it out. So we have ones that are completed and we have ones that are sold. My card happens to be a PSA Mint 9. Again, on the left here, we can go through our filters, picking the grade, it's a 9. Professional grader, here we are, PSA. I'm going to check that off. Now I'm only looking at cards that are PSA 9, that are sold, and that sale has been completed, meaning that the person's payment has been processed, the card has been delivered, it's done. Okay? Now, you can see where we are in the $60, $70 range. Up here on the top right, you can click this little drop down. This is a sorting section. You can sort by ended recently, newly listed, lowest price, highest price, nearest. I like to go with the highest price, especially when I'm trying to sell the card, right? So I want to go through here and look at these cards, okay, to see what they sold for. Now, I see here these mid nines sold for 125, 110, 90, 90, 90, 89, okay, 79, 87. So I can see these are all within the same range, as opposed to up here, this guy at 330, right? He's a little bit of an outlier. So I'm not going to consider that one. That could have been two friends selling to one another to kind of jack the price up, okay? What I'm going to do is take a look at the average prices here. So I see between 90 to 110-ish is the high end. I click this sorting box here and I go to lowest. Again, completed, sold, PSA graded 9. And here we're looking on the lower end, 60, 70. Now, you see how those are crossed out? That's because somebody accepted the best offer. Here's one here, 32, 45, 43. So I know just by looking at these eBay comps, somewhere between $40, $50 on up to 100, maybe 125, somewhere in there is the value of this card. So if you go in the middle, if we just take 50 and 125, right? Our middle is going to be somewhere in the region of what? $85, $90 for the card. So you could ask 90 bucks. And if somebody thinks that's too much, they'll offer you 75. But if you're only asking 40, they're not going to say, hey, bud, you're a little low on your comp here. You should be asking double. So anytime I'm selling, I prefer to look at the comps, get rid of the outliers, that one or two that's much higher than the rest of the market, one or two that are way below the rest of the market. Look at the more average highs and lows, and then find that middle range, okay? And then I know what to look for and what to list the card for when I go to sell it. I like using eBay because it's quick, it's easy, and it's reliable. Their information is real time. They are integrated with PSA, so there's no guesswork in terms of what these cards are worth. Check it out and make sure that you do the three components to successfully comp in a card on eBay. One, getting the picture, the thumbnail in the search box up top here. And then when you hit OK, you get the picture of the card up top. That's the key component. That way you know you're looking at the right information and the right card. Secondly, you have to scroll down on the left and lock in completed items and sold items. So you're looking at items that actually sold, not ones that people listed for $58,000 with the hopes that somebody's going to click on it and buy it. And finally, you have to do your own little research to see the highs and lows that this card sold for. Once you do that, you have a very good understanding of what the card's worth. You did it by yourself. You did it quickly. You know that it's right. And you didn't have to deal with any of those ball busters in the Facebook groups that are so helpful when it comes to you asking a simple question like, how much is this card worth?